we're here. After months of planning, I'm finally ready to share the next chapter. A chapter that I'm both excited and scared to jump into. But before we start, I need to take you back to where it all began. 16 years ago, when I was 7 years old, I found a passion in football. And when I turned 10, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to become a professional footballer. I began doing my own training in an abandoned school, and this training gave results, and soon I was the best player at my local club. At 13, I started playing in an academy, going 2 hours in a car every day to get to practice. Here, I continued to develop and improve myself as a player, but something didn't feel right, and after 3 years, I moved on. At 16, I left my family and my hometown to keep chasing my dream. In a new city, I combined my studies with my pursuit of a pro contract. I worked harder than ever before, being fully focused on what I wanted. But in the end, it wasn't enough, and I had to try something new. In 2020, I had my first real experience of senior football, and also a world pandemic. I continued to work hard, persist, and believe that my dream was still possible. Gym, football, repeat. In 2021, I played the best football of my career. All the hard work that I put in finally started showing some results. I scored goals, provided assists, and things started to really click into place. And in May 2022, I finally achieved my dream as I made my professional debut, a season in which I also scored my first professional goal. And in 2023, I wanted to keep raising the bar, elevating my performance, and to progress to even higher levels. In reality, I mostly remained on the bench, and after an injury at the start of the season, I was out for 4 months. At the end of 2023, in heartbreaking fashion, we crashed out of the league and into Division 2. Today, I'm entering a new phase of my career, where I'm embarking on a special journey and into a project that is completely new. This project is something that makes me extremely motivated and excited for the future, and I want to take you along for the ride. I've been planning this project for a long time, and today I'm finally ready to share it with all of you. In 2024, I will not sign for a new team, but instead venture into unknown territory. In this project, my goal is to achieve a complete transformation of myself as a player. I will work harder and smarter than ever before. I will document everything right here on the channel. Every week there will be a new episode. Every episode showing the steps I take, the plans I make, the training I do, and the experiences I live through. At the end of this project, I will be ready and set to go and fight for a new professional contract. But this project is not just for me, it's something for you. Together, we will embark on this journey, a journey of transformation and a journey of change. Welcome to Project Reborn. So here we are. It's really cold, but Project Reborn has officially started as of now. I've been planning this project for months now, so I'm really excited to finally kick it off. And we're gonna carry out some tests here. At first on the pitch, some physical tests for sprints, for agility, for some movement mechanics, some endurance stuff. You'll see what we'll do. Yeah, I need to move now because I'm cold.
Okay, so we're done with the warm-up and we're gonna start off with the tests. So we start off with the essentials, which are some types of jumps and turns and stuff to check my movement mechanics and my power from like the jumps. So we're gonna start off with some squat jumps, then some counter movement jumps, and then you'll see as we go along.
So we start off with a squat jump. We start in a squatting position, hold that, and then explode up into a jump. What we do is we measure the time we're in the air and then put that into a mathematical formula which calculates our jump height. In each test you will be given 2 attempts. Then we move on to the counter movement jump. In this one, instead of starting in a squatting position, you squat down and quickly go back up. Being able to stop and break quickly on the pitch is an incredibly important skill in football, and that is what we assess in this test. In this unilateral deceleration test, we assess how well we can break off of one leg. So we start out with the left and then we move over to the right and do the same thing. Continuing with the deceleration, this time we're trying to break off 2 legs, and here you ideally want to jump up before you land so you have a bit more energy going into the movement. In this next test we assess our landing mechanics. Here we look at our ankles, our knees and our hips, and how efficiently and how safely we can land off of one leg. Moving on to some higher intensity tests, we start off with the straight line sprint. This one is purely to assess our technique. We go for about 20 meters and for about 2 to 3 attempts. Now we move on to turning, and here we assess how well we can turn to both sides. 2 attempts on each side and try to turn as quickly and as efficiently as possible. Then we move on to change of direction. We start off at 180 degrees. Go for a straight line sprint of about 20 meters, go at full pace and then brake and turn the other way. We continue with the same test, but instead this time we go 90 degrees to each side. Try to go at full speed and full intensity to really emulate what happens in a real life game. In the last change of direction test, we had for 45 degrees to the left and then 45 degrees to the right. Now we move on to the maximum sprint speed test, and the goal of this test is, as the name suggests, to go at your absolute max. Put up cones 30 meters apart, and if you have the option you can put these 5-meter gates in between. Time yourself from start to finish and try to beat your previous time the next time we do these tests. Now we move on to a bit more of a position-specific test, and specifically as a winger. You can think of it when you're running across a back line and then cut in behind and ready to receive a ball and head through on goal. Next up we have the Nike movement test. You put up the cones in the shape of a Nike swoosh, you go forwards, you go backwards, and then you sprint out to the side. Do this 2 times in both ways.
Okay, so it's time for the last test, the yo-yo intermittent recovery test 2, where Agnes will be filming and keeping track of my heartbeat. So it's gonna be fun. It's not gonna be fun. We'll have to do it. So.
This is the Yo-Yo Intermittent Recovery Test, Level 2. The participants should now be in their starting positions. The test begins at speed level 11. You have 11 seconds to run back and forth between the markers. The test begins in 5 seconds. 11, 1. Change to speed 15. 15, 1. 17, 1. 17, 2. 19, 2. 19, 3. 21.
Vi är klara förut då.
Mycket mer alltså.
Tror du?
Jag vet. Jag orkar fan ingenting. Det kändes som det gick så snabbt. Eller alltså mellan nivåerna. Så man brukar springa mycket, alltså fler gånger typ, innan det blir snabbt. Okej. Okay, so finally done with the tests. Finished up with the yo-yo test. And I have to say I didn't think I fared very well. So I know that I have something to improve on. But you know, that's what these tests are for. So that's what these tests are for, to know what we have to improve so we can set our goals and have something to work towards. But we have been training for about an hour. Exactly an hour. We're done for now, but we got more stuff coming up. Stay tuned. Okay, so a bit of a break for a short Q&A. I made a Q&A a while back and I couldn't answer all the questions. I think there was 61 questions and I just didn't have enough time. It took like 1.5 hours to record it and the video ended up being almost 40 minutes. So I thought I'd answer a further 3 of those questions today. And then the rest of them that I don't answer in this video, I will answer in the comments so that I answer all of you. And before we start answering the questions, I would just like to say that now going forward in Project Reborn, I will have a segment in each video where I answer one or a couple of questions that you ask in the comments of these videos and with the hashtag Reborn. Ask your question, hashtag Reborn, and then you'll have the chance to get your question answered on each and every episode. So let's head to 3 questions that I didn't answer before. So from Christos Chrysopoulos, how do you handle failure or mistake and criticism from a teammate? This is something that have improved over the years massively, just in the last maybe 5-6 years. In my late teens and as a kid, primarily, I was really hard on myself. I set high expectations, I had high standards, and I was also a perfectionist. And those 2 things together don't go very well, because oftentimes if I made one mistake, my whole game was, it was over, because I let that mistake get into my head and then I let that affect the rest of the game. Same if I get criticism from a teammate, I took that to heart more before, but now I've learned that, I know that mistakes are a part of the process and it's like something you have to get used to and something you have to learn over time. But mistakes are a part of the process. You have to make mistakes to learn.
Now you don't want to make mistakes for the sake of making mistakes, but you have to like recognize that without making the mistakes, you won't be able to learn. So they are a part of the process. And then you want to minimize those mistakes over time. And that's really the key to it. The recognition that mistakes are important on your way to improving as a player and as a person. The next question is from the Doctor's Room 3611. Is individual training better than training with people worse than you and not serious? I think it depends a lot. You always want to challenge yourself in training, and if you play with players worse than you, there's a chance that you fall into their game and you fall into the lackluster performance that they put into the training or whatever you do. But I also believe that like individual training has its place, and I think you always should aim to do your own individual training. But I also believe that even if you play with players worse than you, there's always something you can take away from that. You can, if you just decide that you are going to play to the very best of your abilities. Like one example could be if you want to improve your dribbling, it's a perfect opportunity. Even if they don't play very serious or not to the max of their ability, you will still have something better than a cone dribbling at. Of course, you want to train with as serious players as possible, but I think there's a time and place for training with unserious players as well, even if you want to minimize the time that you train with these unserious players. But if you find yourself in a lot of those situations, make the most out of it and do your very best, and don't care what they say, because I know they might say like, oh, you're so serious. Don't care about that. Do your own thing. Go at it with the best of your ability, and I think you are doing what you can in that type of situation to progress. So the third and final question will be from Rasim Amgar 5306. Sorry again for the pronunciations, it's not easy. Is it possible to improve your game while being injured, and how? I was out injured for not the majority, but for a very long time now in 2023 when I pulled my hamstring back in April. What can you do? Well, the primary focus should be when you're injured to rehab your injury and get stronger and get back from that injury. So that should be like your primary concern. Do your rehab, do your strengthening work, and follow your rehab plan to make sure that you're doing the utmost to get back on the pitch. Then what else can you do? Well, you can always watch the game, you can watch it on television, you can learn through that way, you can analyze players in your position, you can analyze the general play of an entire team, you can analyze formations. Let's say you're injured in one of your legs, then maybe it's hard to work on your dribbling and stuff like that. Then maybe you can go for some upper body work or work on your core. Whatever you feel like doesn't aggravate the injury, you can do that. If there's alternate ways of, let's say you want to train your cardio, but your legs, there's an injury in your legs that prevents you from training your cardio, then you can maybe go for a swim where the load on your legs is not as high, but you can still get the cardio in. And you can always improve mentally through meditation exercises, and just by being out injured, you're actually improving your mental resilience by battling with your injury every day, because you want to get back on the field, and it sucks that you can't be out there. So you have to have a strong mind to get through periods like that, and you grow from those. And then you can do stuff that's not football related. You can read books about self-improvement or any other area of your life that you feel that you want to improve in over time, and because you have to look at it from a holistic perspective as well. If you learn more about yourself or about some area of your life, that will benefit you as a footballer as well. The bigger amount of knowledge you have, the easier everything will come to you. That's just the way that it is. So there's a lot of things you can do, but try to focus. Your main focus should be, what can I control and what can I do right now with the injury that I have, and then work around that. Make a plan. So for the rest of the questions that you asked on the Q&A before, I will answer in the comments as well as I can. I have to answer some emails, I have to answer some messages, write some new emails, and then just keep planning and keep preparing for the coming week. But then we're heading to the gym in about 90 minutes. Then we're heading to the gym where I'm going to go through a session, keep up with the testing, and also go through a maybe a lighter gym session today just to get back to it. I have some plans in mind, but we'll see if we'll adapt it along the way. But yeah, gonna sit here, answer emails, messages, write new emails, keep planning, and keep preparing.
Let's go. I was born to kill it. I was meant to win. I am down and willing, so I will find a way. It took a minute, now it didn't happen right away. When it get hot in the kitchen, you decide to stay. That's how it winners made. Stick a fork in the hater on my dinner plate. I walk into the fire like it's just a bit of flames. I switch my style up, watch the money pile up. I'ma get rich or die trying, want me switch lanes. I'm always getting better, I'ma be on 5th place. On this one, then 4th on the next. 3rd, 2nd, 1st, 4th, 5th.
Here in the gym we will go through what is called a full motion screening, and we start off with the deep squat. The goal of a full motion screening test is to assess your own body and find any areas of problems or lack of mobility or lack of flexibility, and then be able to correct that in your training plan and in your training program. Now we move on to the inline lunge. Here we want to remain as straight as possible and perform the exercise with the correct technique. We then move on to some shoulder mobility, and here you can definitely see a problem area of mine where this side, my right shoulder mobility, is not the same as my left, and I know that I have a problem that I can improve and plan into my training program. Then we have the active straight leg raise. Here we assess our hamstring flexibility, but also our lower back mobility and how well we can raise our leg into a straight line. Then we have the trunk push-up. You place your hands slightly above your ears and then just try to push yourself up with a stable core. In this rotary stability core test, we assess our core's ability to stabilize our body in first this way, so we alternate between raising our opposite leg and arm, and then rotary stability 2, we raise the same leg and the same arm, and you can see I have big troubles with this one. Now let's raise the music and finish off with some strengthening exercises.
Knock, knock. was meant to win. I am down and willing, so I will find a way. It took a minute, now it didn't happen right away. When it get hot in the kitchen, you decide to stay. That's how it winners made. Stick a fork in the hater on my dinner plate. I walk into the fire like it's just a bit of flames. I switch my style up, watch the money pile up. I'ma get rich or die trying, want me switch lanes. I'm always getting better, I'ma be your fifth place. On this one, then fourth on the next. Third, second, first, you pull with the best. She showing love, give me all the raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Huff and puff and blow the house down. Raw energy. Don't stop, go ahead, get it in. Jump, knock, let me in. Huff and puff and blow the house down. I do it for the love, they perform for the checks, and I still get more. They be bored by the rest. I done put the work in, wasn't born in success. See the storm, it affects the performance. But I dance in the rain and the thunder, the drums. So I keep going hard, I won't stop till I'm done. From the